Hello, Mr. Sam. Thank you for joining us.
Hi there, Mr. Yern. It's great to see you again. How's your day going so far?
Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Sam. How about you?
Oh, it's really nice, thank you. I'm so excited to learn a lot more about the country Mexico.
I couldn't agree more, Mr. Sam. Mexico seems very interesting. As always, we'll take a look at some very interesting places. Our favorite, as always, the food, and a little bit about the language. I don't know what language is spoken in Mexico. Do you?
Well, I do actually, because a long time ago, a lot of people from the country Spain moved to Mexico. So most of Mexico speaks Spanish. And that is going to help us a lot because later in this news segment, we will be learning some Spanish words and phrases to help us if we ever go to Mexico.
That is excellent. And not only Mexico, because Spanish is spoken in different parts of the world too, which is applicable to different countries.
Exactly, all over South America where Mexico is, and a lot of other countries people say Spanish. So this can help you in so many different places.
Excellent. Let's get started though. Let's have a look and join our weatherman and see exactly where Mexico is in the world, as you mentioned, and of course, see what the weather's like and talk a little bit more about the capital cities and what the population is like.
Great, let's go. Hello there, thank you very much. I'm standing here with a map of Mexico's weather. Now, you can see that Mexico is a very, very big country. It's so big that, in fact, look at the different places. They all have different weather. Now, Mexico is normally hot because it is so close to the middle of the earth, close to the equator, just like Hong Kong. But you can see because it's so big that there are lots of different places which seem very different. First, we can look at central Mexico in the middle. This is where the capital city, Mexico City, is, which we will learn about soon. Now, when we get further closer to the top, you can see that northern Mexico has lots of mountains. So it will be very hot, but also very hilly. When we get closer to the edge, to the coast of Mexico, we have Baja California, which you can see just to the left. Baja California is in fact a desert. It is so hot with lots of very hot beaches and things like that. But the next place we have the coast. Can you see on the right, we have the Gulf Coast. Now, the Gulf Coast is very beautiful, but it is not so windy. So people like to go there for fishing. On the other side of Mexico, we have the Pacific coast where there are lots of big waves and lots of wind where people can go surfing or water skiing or things like that. Now, when we get closer to the south, we have two different places. We have southern Mexico, in which there is a very beautiful looking temple there, which we will talk about soon. Also, we have the Yucatan Peninsula right to the right-hand side, where we have lots of palm trees. It's because it is very tropical. So sometimes there is lots of rain and sometimes there are hurricanes, like Hong Kong has typhoons. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed learning about Mexico's weather. Let's go back to the studio.
Very interesting. Thank you for that. And Mr. Sam, that weatherman looks suspiciously like you.
That's a really good point, Mr. Yern. It must be my long-lost brother or something.
I assume so.
Okay, everybody. Thank you very much for listening about the weather. Now, we have seen from our weather report that there are lots of places in Mexico, and we are going to look at some of them more now. I wonder, which one will be your favorite?
I wonder, there are some really interesting and beautiful places, Mr. Sam. Let's take a look at our first one.
Yes, thank you very much. Now, let's start by looking at the different places in Mexico. As you can see, I am wearing sunglasses. That is because this place, you can see, is very sunny and very hot all the time. This is the Temple of Kukulkan, which is a very famous place in Mexico. This temple is so old and it was built by a civilization, lots of people so long ago called the Mayans. But there is not only the temple, we also have a full city, a very old city that people do not live in anymore, that is right here. It is so famous that it is one of the wonders of the world, where all of the countries voted 7 different wonders, and this is one of them. You can see that the temple is very big because you can see the people walking around next to it. It is so big, and it is amazing that such a long time ago, people could make buildings like this and cities like this. Okay, let's look at the next one.
And here we are. As you can see, I am dressed for the occasion. I am going to one of the most famous beach locations in Mexico. This is on this most southeast point of Mexico, closest to Cuba, in an area called Cancun. Now, this stretch of beach is famous all around the world, so tourists love to come here and stay at the beautiful hotels and see this crystal clear water and roam the beautiful white sand beaches. I cannot wait to get into the water and see what Cancun is all about. Let me get started.
Yes, thank you very much. I am standing here in the very famous Mexico City. Now, Mexico City is the capital city of Mexico, and it is very well known. This city has a population, so how many people live there, of 9 million people, which is nearly as much as Hong Kong. It's a very massive city. Now, you can see from this picture, the city has a really big square and one of the biggest flags in the world. Look at the person standing next to the flag. You can see how big it is. Now, the other building you can see is the Mexican Parliament as well. Now, you can see from this that Mexico City has a very old center. You can see that all of the buildings look very old. They are not made out of glass or things. They are made out of stone. Now, I hope you will enjoy learning more about Mexico City, but I also hope you will want to go there as well, because it looks so beautiful. I know I want to go there. Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the next one.
And here I am in the Gulf of California this time on the western coast of Mexico. And I'm going to be learning to scuba dive. This is very exciting for me. I'm outside one of many dive schools in Mexico. And this one, we're going to be diving in a very protected area known as the Sea of Cortez. Now, as I said, it is a protected area for the wildlife to thrive. I'm going to be able to see the biggest mammal on Earth, the blue whale. I'm very excited to see all the beautiful ocean life and, of course, learn how to scuba dive. Now, this has been excellent seeing all these beautiful locations throughout Mexico, and I cannot wait to learn how to scuba dive and interact with these incredible animals underwater. I hope that all of us are able to do this together someday and that you will be brave enough to learn how to scuba dive too. But it has been excellent seeing this location and all the other ones. Now let me get to my scuba diving and I'll see you all back in the studio. Wow, all those places look absolutely beautiful, so much interesting history, and I really can't wait to go there. What do you think, Mr. Sam?
Yes, you're right. I'm really excited to go there as well. There are so many countries that I really want to go to after the pandemic. I guess we just have to wait though.
I couldn't agree more. Safety first, Mr. Sam.
You're right. Okay, so we have looked at so many different places, but there is something else that I'm sure you're very excited to learn about. Is that right?
Always, Mr. Sam. You know me. I'm always so hungry. Onto the food.
Exactly. So we need to learn a lot more about Mexican food. Now, I wonder if any of our viewers have had Mexican food before. I'm sure they have.
It's an immensely popular cuisine, is it not?
That's right. I wonder, we will learn a lot more about Mexican food, but are there any Mexican restaurants or Mexican places we can get food in Hong Kong?
I know for sure, Mr. Sam. There are a lot of different restaurants and also some that you can order to your home. I know Cali Mex is a very popular one.
Oh, excellent. That's a really good idea. Maybe I will have to get one later this afternoon.
Great idea. I think I would like to do the same.
Good stuff. Okay, so I think we can do a little bit more of learning about Calimex. I wonder, do we have a correspondent at Calimex at the moment?
Absolutely, we do. Let's cut to him and learn a little bit more, because I know that every country has their own version of a Mexican cuisine, which would be very similar. But we want to learn more from the source. So let's get straight to our correspondence.
Here are the 7 traditional dishes of Mexican street food you have to try. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Number 7, empanadas. Let's start this list off with what some call the perfect finger food. The Spanish empanada is made of stuffing empanada dough with meat or a veggie filling. They're like mini calzones, but the dough is a little bit different. The beauty of the empanada is that you can stuff it with whatever filling you think is the best. Sweet or savory, meat or vegan, cheesy or veggie, it's all up to you. The street vendors call every imaginable kind of empanada, and you can choose a different kind for every day of the week. They're perfect for eating on the go. Number 6, tamales. It's all about the tamales, folks, and believe us, after trying tamales, just seeing corn husks will remind you of this delicious Mexican dish. The most common version of that is pork and masa, but people have been stuffing them with all sorts of things. Sometimes you can even find sweet tamales. So, for the standard recipe, you'll need to boil some dried red peppers, pour them in a blender, add the water, a few cloves of garlic, onion, cumin, and a little bit of lime, and blend it all together. The fine paste will marinate the meat, and if you can put some in the masa. After cooking the meat, you will smash that like button if you haven't done so already. But no, you will actually fill the corn husks with some masa mix, add the pork, and wrap it up. After steaming, you will find the best tamales you have ever had. Number 5, fajitas. Take some cooked pork, grill some veggies, guacamole, and some corn tortillas, and you've got yourself one of the tastiest fajitas in the world. The recipe above is just for the classic fajita, but the beauty of this dish is that it can be made with any meat you like. Chicken, beef, or pork, it's all good. Add some raw or cooked veggies, guacamole or sour cream, a little squeeze of lime, and anything else you can think of. If you want to make it for yourself, this will be the easiest recipe you make. Number 4, nachos. Who doesn't like chips and cheese with guacamole? And I've yet to meet a person that says, I hate nachos. They're everywhere because they're the ultimate game and finger food. You take a bag of corn chips, you throw on some cheese, add some ground beef, some beans, a few dollops of sour cream, and some guac. Man, that is what you call watching a game. Number 3, churros. Enough with the salty foods, let's bring on the sweets. The churros are so good, you can find them practically anywhere. You don't need to go to Mexico for some churros, you could probably find a street vendor on a corner selling them. Yeah, they're that popular. And they're a very simple kind of dough that only uses water, butter, and flour. There's no eggs like you see in many of the recipes out there, and they pass through a special syringe called a churriera and deep fried. Once out of the oil, they're sprinkled with cinnamon sugar. But nowadays, the classic recipe is almost forgotten because of all the variants. Number 2, quesadillas. The original recipe was basically a taco filled with cheese and cooked in a pan, but as the dish got more and more popular, people started making them with meat, veggies, spices, and dipping them in either guacamole or sour cream or some salsa. The reason they're so popular is because of how delicious they are. What's not to like? It's gooey cheese, crunchy tortilla, and all the veggies and meat you can imagine. Number 1, tacos. It does not get any more Mexican than tacos. And don't think that taco shells you get from Walmart will fit the right type of Mexican taco. You're just doing yourself a disservice using them. The authentic Mexican tacos are made with small corn tortillas and practically any filling you like. They can include beef, chicken, pork, guacamole, cheese, sour cream, veggies, sausage, and all of that is dipped in some delicious salsa. And the reason they're so versatile is the reason they're so popular. And again, you don't have to go to Mexico to try them.
Wow, very interesting about the food. I am starving now. How about you, Mr. Sam?
Yes, this has made me so hungry. I can't wait to go and get some Mexican food tonight.
I couldn't agree more, Mr. Sam. But now we've seen beautiful places, delicious food. as we mentioned in the beginning, let's talk about the language and learn some common phrases. Can you help me with that, please, Mr. Sam?
I think I can. Luckily, I have learned Spanish for a long time, so I should be able to help you. Are there any words or phrases that you would like to know how to say, Mr. Yan?
Yes, absolutely, Mr. Sam. And I think these phrases will help our viewers too if we ever travel to a Spanish-speaking country. First of all, hello.
Oh, well, this one's very easy. I wonder if the other people watching the show can try this at home as well. To say hello, we say, hola. Hola, can you try that, Mr. Yan?
And everyone try practice it with me too. Hola.
Hola, good job. That is how we say hello in Spanish. That is very exciting. So now, if you go to Spain or Mexico, or just like I said, a country in South America, apart from Brazil, you can say hello to people.
Hola.
Hola. There we go. Good job, Mr. Yan. And what other words would you like to know?
Hello. I always like to remember my manners anywhere I go. So please and thank you. Can we start with please?
Of course. To say please, you say por favor, which means for favor, which is to say please. Can you try that, Mr. Yan?
Por favor.
Amazing. You are Spanish already. Por favor. Well done. Really good, Mr. Yan. Can our students, can the viewers try this at home with Mr. Yan?
Can. Por favor.
Por favor. Good job, everybody. So that is how we say please.
How about thank you, Mr. Sam?
Well, thank you is a little bit more difficult because we say gracias. Gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias. Well done, Mr. Yan. You have done so well. You are such a good student. So we can try this at home
tricky,
as well.
Mr. Sam.
So we can try and say thank you. We say gracias.
Gracias.
Good job. Well done.
That's quite hard. I would need to practice a little bit more, I think.
Well, that's okay. We can practice before you go on holiday.
Wow, really interesting, Mr. Sam. But I think another good one to know would be my name is. How do you say that?
That's a really good point. To say my name is, we say me llamo. Can you try that?
Me llamo.
Me llamo, exactly. So if you wanted to say my name is Yan, what would you say?
Me llamo Yan.
Perfect. Well done. And for me, I would say me llamo Sam. My name is Sam.
So the students can try this at home too, and the viewers, they can say me llamo and their own name.
Exactly. Perfect. And then you will know how to say your name in Spanish.
Really awesome. Thanks, Mr. Sam. But one more, which is, I think, very important, just to say goodbye to someone.
Of course, that's very important as well. To say goodbye, we say adios. Can you try that? Exactly. Adios. It means to God. Adios. It means goodbye as well. There we go. So we say adios when we say goodbye.
That is really interesting, Mr. Sam. Thank you for sharing some of these really common phrases. So one day when we can all travel to a Spanish-speaking country and hopefully Mexico, we can use these phrases, put them to practice and see what the locals think.
That would be really good.
But from us at CCS News, unfortunately, this is the end of our segment about Mexico. We hope that you've all enjoyed it as much as we have, Mr. Sam.
Exactly. It has been so much fun to learn about another country. I'm really excited to try that again soon.
Me too. I hope our viewers have enjoyed this. But from us at CCS News, tune in next time. Thank you for everyone and try it as well. Adios.
Adios.